No, your eyes do not deceive you. We are live. It is Sunday night as opposed to our usual Friday night happy hour live webcasts. Good evening, everyone. I'm Mark Gillespie in the WhiskyCast studio in New Jersey, and we are not the official post-race show for the Busch Light Clash at the Coliseum, nor are we the official halftime show for the Winter Olympics or next weekend's Super Bowl, but we're going to have a little bit of fun for a little while or so, tasting whiskeys with the guys from Ask Off Track with Hinch and Rossi. Guys, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us tonight. And let's introduce everybody. First of all, on your left, James Hinchcliffe, Tim Durham, their guest, Marco Andretti, and Alexander Rossi. Guys, I know that at least two of you had a really hellacious weekend last weekend in Daytona. Everybody recovered?
For different reasons, yeah. Alex, I think, got more sleep even than I did, but no.
I don't think that's true.
No, well, yeah, that's true. You should have. I worked more than you did. Let's put it that way.
You certainly did work more than I did. That is true.
Yeah, but neither of you won.
Well,
I mean, lose.
I don't think he could get beat. I don't think
That's
he could.
okay. That's fair.
Well,
Yeah.
he could get fired.
He could get
And
fired.
he didn't get fired.
I got to give Hinch major props because the longest I've ever done a stint on air was 6 hours. And to do 17 out of 24 is really well done. You guys, I was watching from here, and you did a great job, Hinch, along with the entire NBC crew.
Thank you so much. Yeah, much better job than Alex. But yes, appreciate that.
That was the main takeaway. I think
Right,
everybody
I think
had.
so. Yeah, he didn't compliment Alex's performance.
No,
So yes,
why
thank
would
you,
he?
Mark. I appreciate it.
Well, no, Alex came in second. Alex's team came in second overall, right behind Elio.
Yep, sure did.
Yeah,
But I think the amazing part was it was an Acura 1-2, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Up until last year, that was a big kind of missing tick on the resume for the Acura DPI program, and to be with Team Penske for the period of time that they did, and to always have the performance and speed, and to have two IMSA championships, but never really like an endurance win. To get it last year with Wayne Taylor Racing was amazing, but then to come back and defend that this year with a 1-2 with Wayne Taylor and Meyer Shank was surprising, honestly. But it was an amazing thing to be a part of it.
We have people already joining in the chat area. If you want to put a comment or a question in, feel free to go ahead and do that. If you're watching us on Twitter or on Facebook or on YouTube, we can't read Twitter comments yet, and we can't read them on Twitch, but we can read them otherwise. We got to give a special shout out to Graham Fraser, who's watching from Scotland tonight, where it's 1 a.m. already. And I knew this was going to be late, but figured we'd go ahead and do it anyway. So thank you for staying up late to watch, Graham. So, Marco, tell us about your last experience on the track this year. It was in SRX last summer. That was fun to watch.
It was fun. Yeah, I mean, it was very I didn't know what to expect with the series, and I kind of kept an open mind about it, and I ended up really enjoying myself. I didn't think I would have that much fun in a stock car, but I ended up really enjoying it, and you might see me back this year, so looking forward to it.
We're leveling.
I know you can't announce anything yet, but after winning 1 out of the 6 weeks, might we see you back, hopefully?
You know what's funny is, like, I was more proud of my heat win at Eldora on the dirt than
That
my,
was awesome.
actual feature win. So I'm looking forward to the dirt races, yeah, if we end up doing that. So that'd be cool. But we're looking at that's my plan as of now.
I've been arguing on Twitter ever since last summer that SRX needs to do the dirt oval at Indy, at the Speedway. And I think that would be an absolute hoot.
small.
Yeah, I think that might be a little too small for those cars. But I think as small as you can go is probably Slinger, the one we ended up winning.
Well, we just proved tonight in NASCAR, if you can put 24 stock cars on the LA Coliseum.
Well, there's that.
Well, was that a good race? Let's be honest.
Well, half the cars.
And
Should
just
you?
because
I just woke up. Was it a good race?
No,
it was not.
No, it wasn't.
no.
But put half the cars out there, it might be fun.
At least Ice Cube looked very bored.
And yeah, that's something else altogether. Tim, I see you've decided to not join us with a bathrobe tonight.
It was touch and go there. I went with Vacation Santa instead. It's my aunt got me this shirt. I love it.
Weirdly, I wish he'd worn the robe.
So we've been on vacation now with Tim. This is the third day, And every morning he's come out with something Christmas related,
Yeah.
whether it was
The red bathrobe.
Silk pajamas.
his
Yeah.
Christmas card outfit, whether
Yeah.
it was something that his Christmas underwear.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah, it's just really great to spend so much quality time with him in person.
Mark, the important thing to remember is that I'm delightful. And I just want to make sure these guys remember it, you know?
Well,
You got an explanation for this?
I mean, I'm more dressed than Alex in that picture. Why am I the one getting crap for this?
Your hair.
Yeah,
That's
that's
horrendous.
That's fair.
general.
No, I
look.
get it.
Although, Tim, you should.
Well, I do have props for tonight. I have the Tim Durham official flask.
I was going to say, Mark, I feel like Tim's left a lasting impression on it. In the sense that I noticed the samples that you sent now are considerably smaller than in the past, which was a very wise move. More than enough for Alex, Marco, and I to taste. Not quite up to Tim's level of drinking on this podcast.
I didn't. He would send the samples, and we did this all separate. So I would just pour the whole sample in.
We didn't do it separate. You were in a different room in my
Okay,
house.
the first time we were all in
That's
different
good, though.
places. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I didn't realize.
Honestly, I wish we were separate right now.
I didn't realize that we weren't drinking the whole thing. So then when I would see you guys afterwards, I'm like, why am I the only one hammered? Like, I didn't get it.
It's a good thing to admit on the internet.
Yeah.
And the curling comments are already coming in about Tim's stated desire or mythical belief that he could actually be an Olympic level curler.
It'd be that hard.
In 3 months or less, Mark. In 3 months or less.
I mean, just look at his aesthetic.
This is winter chic. This is great.
Winter.
got palm trees on it.
Yeah, but it's Santa.
I digress.
And Ben McDonald wants to know if Tim has any expert analysis on the Olympic curling.
Could do it in 3 months. I stand by that statement.
Just hate you so much.
I think.
When are you going to get him on the ice, guys? I want to see this.
Soon, yeah.
Honestly, there's some ice outside.
We don't have any curling rocks, though.
Tim would fall for it.
Well, you ready to taste some whiskeys?
Let's do it.
Let's try it.
Okay, so sample number 1. And I did not tell you guys what these were beforehand, but there's a theme to the first 3 of these, or at least there's something that connects the 3 of them. And I'll leave it to you because Alex always asks why I picked what I did. So I'm telling you that there's a connection between the 3 of them, first of all.
Right.
So-
this time I can do the whole thing, right?
You don't have
Yes.
That's not much.
So the first one is from Heaven's Door. It is the Heaven's Door Redbreast Master Blenders Edition bourbon.
Okay.
So it's Heaven's Door bourbon finished in Redbreast Irish whiskey casks.
All right.
I've got a.
It's not wine, bro. You don't have to like.
I have an ice
you don't
cube
have
in
to
mind.
spin it
Full
around.
disclosure.
It's fine.
Viewers,
I thought
don't
you
hate
were
me.
supposed
I
to-
have a half an ice cube in mind. Okay.
Drink it how you like it.
Cheers.
Oh, that's spicy.
So you can taste the Irish whiskey finish in it for sure. I think.
Yeah, that's actually got a better flavor than I was expecting.
Yeah, the bourbon still dominates, but you can taste a little bit of the Irish pot still.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I wish I can describe it. I just know I like it.
So Mark, can you explain something to me? So Kentucky bourbon, right, has to be in new white French oak barrels, correct?
Right.
Everybody knows that.
So
Yeah,
Just-
yeah.
It's French oak or just oak?
Just it says technically oak barrel, so it can be French oak, it could be American oak. That's the myth. That's a misconception that people think that it has to be American oak, but the law just says oak, new charred oak casks.
Understood. So then Irish whiskey, is there the same kind of rules and regulation for it? No. So it's a free for all. It could be finished in something that's 2 decades old.
It could be. It could be. They can do things in different types of woods. They can primarily do oak, but they can finish in different kinds of woods. You don't try to mature in other types of woods because they're too porous and the whiskey will leak out because the wood just won't hold liquids really well. But white oak does, which is why it's the most commonly used wood for whiskey.
So then the flavor of Irish whiskey is coming from the age of the wood, not necessarily the difference in wood. Correct.
Oh, it's coming from the difference in the barley that goes into it because pot still whiskey from Ireland is made with a combination of malted and unmalted barley. So you tend to get more baking spices. You get the unmalted barley tends to be a little spicier. So that's where you get the spices out of that. The wood they're using old bourbon barrels for most of the whiskey that they're producing,
Yep.
Interesting.
and a combination of ex-bourbon and sherry casks primarily.
Got it. Right on. No, it's very good. I like it.
Very good.
Honestly, yeah.
Very good. You definitely get that spice.
Smells like almost like scotchy on the nose.
Are you against chasers? This is Klaus Holler. This is one
Yeah.
of Alex and I's sponsors.
Of course.
It doesn't even taste alcohol.
Oh, this is bad. From John Wojnar, Hinch has half an ice cube, so did the Clash.
Yeah.
Pretty funny.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's Marco with the.
Yeah, and somebody going by the name of the late, great Dick Trickle. Why are there two Marco Andrettis?
Oh, man.
Was it? He was the one that would smoke in the car.
I don't dress like this, though.
No.
Come on.
No, you don't have that much fashion sense.
Yeah. Gary Pettenhausen was the one with the famous fuel line out of the helmet to a cigarette while sitting in the car.
Yeah.
Let's go to number 2. This is one I have to give you guys credit for.
Okay.
Because last year when you were on the show, you told me about Redwood Empire.
Yes. Yeah.
And I was not familiar with them until you guys mentioned it. So I sought them out
Oh, wonderful.
and learned more about it. And we did a podcast with them last fall. And I picked their Lost Monarch
Yeah, I was gonna say
blend,
okay. Wonderful.
which is a blend of straight whiskeys. It's some of their distillate stuff that they've gotten from Kentucky and Indiana, I believe. I suspect it's mostly Indiana. But it's their blend of whiskeys from what they're doing with some of their young distillate as well. So this is one I got to thank you guys for, because I would not have heard about them otherwise.
Yeah.
Is it an MVP product or no?
They don't
No, it's
specifically. You might know more, Mark.
some of their distillate, some of their younger whiskey mixed with MGP. It's a blend.
Yep. And is this what you found when you're out in California with?
No, this one I
Evan?
actually found in Ontario, but it's a California establishment creation. But again, it's kind of coming from this world of not blended whiskey was sort of taboo for a minute, right? And obviously it's become a lot more prevalent. And ran into this one. I forget exactly which one it was from Redwood that I tried, but I was really impressed. I mean, it was a mix of several different ones, different years from different places, and really enjoyed it. So glad you found it as well, and glad you're enjoying it.
Do you know who else
Yeah.
mixes whiskeys a lot? Canadians.
It's true.
They do.
Yeah.
Like Drake's whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good call.
Which is MGP.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Drake's whiskey is MGP.
All right.
There you
And
go.
then who's the hockey player?
Wayne Gretzky.
Wayne Gretzky?
Gretzky's
Who's the hockey player?
MVP. MVP is like it's like a conglomerate of.
Yeah, they just they
I didn't know either.
they produce and store a lot of whiskey, and then other distilleries
Smaller
can
distillers can buy
buy it from them.
at different
Gotcha.
ages.
Right.
They're sort of like the Dallara of whiskeys.
Understood. Manufactured.
Nicely
Yeah.
put.
Thank you.
Yeah, the race Harlan's helps.
Again, Mark, this is very good.
Well, this is one, like I said, I give you guys the credit for teaching me about this one, because I was not aware of these guys until you put them on my radar. So thank you for doing this. Have you figured out the theme I'm talking about here right now yet?
Is it spice?
No.
Blended?
You're overthinking it then.
Spicier than that.
It's
I don't know how to describe this.
it's
So good.
No, it's
okay.
it's between the whiskeys. It's not the taste of the whiskeys.
I got nothing.
Okay, it's collaboration. The first one was a blend between Redbreast and Heaven's Door. This is a blend between California and Indiana bourbons. And our next one is another collaboration between George Dickel in Tennessee and Leopold Brothers in Denver. Their collaboration rye, where they took some of their rye whiskeys and blended them together. The Dickel rye comes out of a unique 3-chamber still that you would have to have an IndyCar engineering degree to be able to figure it out how it works. I've looked at the diagrams and I still can't figure it out.
No,
So Dalton could explain it to us.
correct. Yes. Yeah, our resident engineer.
Yes.
Yeah, the Redwood. The Redwood is good. It's got a little bit of that almost kind of a scotchy flavor to it.
So let me get my glass of that one. I'm curious. Go ahead and tell me what you think of this one.
Yeah, it's great.
Well, definitely, there's a lot of other Dickel products that we enjoy.
Nobody's addressing how ridiculous of a name that is.
Oh, it's a name.
Just
Tim's a pretty ridiculous name. You don't hear us criticizing you.
First of all, yes, I do. You criticize me about everything.
Actually, pretty regularly. Yeah.
Second of all, Dickel is much more of a silly name than Tim.
Only in English.
So, okay, Mark, repeat. What is this a combination of? Dickel and who?
And Leopold Brothers Rye in Denver. Todd Leopold and his brother own a distillery in Denver. They make their rye whiskey using this unique 3-chamber still design.
Does the 3-chamber still design equal Scotch?
No, no, you're thinking triple distilled or double distilled.
Oh, I know. I'm just tasting it.
I taste Scotch.
I taste a lot of Scotch in that.
It takes a lot of the spice out, but you've got the spiciness from the Dickel that's mixed in there. But basically, it works sort of like a column still, except that it's going through the spirit goes through 3 different stages as it's being distilled.
Right.
I'd still take that over any Scotch.
I mean,
Yeah.
right. But
Aiden Tapler has got an interesting one here. Suggestion, Marco, that you should do a barrel-aged whiskey with Andretti wine casks from your grandfather's vineyard.
Yeah.
That's actually.
I'm in.
Yeah.
He's not a big bourbon guy, but we can
doesn't
change
need to
that.
be.
we can float the idea.
Yeah.
All we need to do is get our
Everybody
hands
is.
on a couple barrels from him.
Yeah.
Everybody has their faults,
Mario has 0.
Yeah.
We have a question for you from Kevin DeVries Hinch. He wants to know what your go-to Canadian product is when you're in the Big Smoke or the Muskokas. And Kevin's in Ontario, so.
Well, I mean,
What the hell? Look at Kevin's profile picture.
yes, it's exactly
love
what
that.
everybody should
I actually
be.
love that. I like that.
Kevin, thank you for your profile picture as much as your question. I mean, normally if we're up in Muskoka, we're probably drinking something a little lighter than this. Usually we're on some kind of local craft beer of some kind. But I've also had really good luck tracking down Weller in Ontario. It seems like they get 2 shipments a year, and
James gets one of them.
I get on the LCBO, which is the controlling board of liquor in Ontario, for their app, and it tells you kind of what's available in which stores, and I know roughly what time of year it comes in. So once a week in those times of year, I'll jump on and see if there's any in stock, and then send out friends and family to hit all the LCBOs to stock us up for the next 6 months. And so the cottage up there has got a nice little bunker full of Weller Special Reserve and an Antique 107 for the colder nights when we're up there in the winter.
And just
Nice.
like where exactly is this cabinet and where is it stored? I tried.
Nice try, Tim. Donner Pass Whiskey has a comment. They want to know if they're at your house, Alexander. They said you both live in the same town, and those pine trees out the window look like my house.
We're not far from the
oddly
Donner
enough,
Pass.
that's a very good observation. We are at Tim's aunt and uncle's home that they were kind enough to let us use, kind of to come and have a ski weekend. But yes, I grew up about 25 minutes from here, so very close to home, very close to Donner Pass, and beautiful trees and nature and weather and everything. So we're really happy to be here.
We have a challenge from Doctor Who with a bunch of numbers. Say Dick Trickle drinks Dickel 3 times fast.
Tim was saying to me how much he wanted to say that name. So go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead, Tim.
I should have done this before we drank. No, can't even do it once.
Dick Trickle drinks Dickel.
3 times fast.
Dick Trickle drinks Dickel. Drink. Nope.
Nope.
That's a good one. That's a Doctor Who. That is quite the tongue twister you have created.
Yes, as Dick Trickle himself points out, the weirdest tongue twister he's ever seen.
Tongue and dick.
Oh, good Lord. Wow.
And Dick says he is disappointed in you, Tim.
Aren't
Join
we all?
the club,
Yeah.
Mr. Trickle.
Welcome to our world.
Join the club.
Any other thoughts on this collaboration between Dickel and Leopold Brothers?
I don't like it.
Yeah, well, it's interesting that it's kind of got more of that peaty flavor,
Yeah.
and it is sort of leaning. I feel like we're almost the three we've had have kind of gone that direction. I taste a little more of the peat, and the second one is still good.
Is peaty scotchy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
kinda
the last
that
one I have,
earthy
to,
sort of-
I have to back him up on that.
Which is the first time Marco's backed me on anything.
So you know it must be true.
Yeah.
Well, the fourth whiskey is not a collaboration. And since we were asking that question about what James has Canadian style, we have picked a Crown Royal.
Oh, wonderful.
And since this is, I don't know if, are they still sponsoring you this year, Alex? Or do you know yet?
They probably dropped them.
Well, it was you and I that had
Oh,
it.
shoot.
So I honestly don't know. Usually Crown Royal supported us for the month of May because at the Speedway they have their Wall of Heroes for Memorial Day weekend and everything that Crown Royal does to support our troops. Whether or not they're coming back this year is to be determined, but they've been a great partner and love their products. So let's get to it.
Do it.
Well, this is the Canadian Whiskey of the Year. As honored in the Canadian Whisky Awards a couple of weeks ago, the Crown Royal Noble Collection Winter Wheat Edition. And this is done from 51% wheat.
Yeah,
Yeah, we love
big
wheated
weeded,
bourbons.
big weeded guys. It's crazy that the Gretzky didn't win that.
I know
You would
why.
think he could pull some strings.
That's really
Really good.
very good.
Wow.
Man, Mark, I mean, you could have sent a big sample on number 4, but
He's got our address.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, well, we might be able to arrange something along those lines because I want to get you guys to talk about the Indianapolis Bourbon Society for a minute. Your bourbon club.
Yeah. Well, James, take it away.
Oh, good. We formed IBS how long ago now? 4 years?
4 years.
4 years ago, and it was a group of us in Indianapolis who some of us were kind of experienced bourbon drinkers, some of us were bourbon novices, and
Me.
you
Well, not involved.
Wait,
No,
I was
I'm
about
saying-
to be, okay.
Some were professionals,
right?
some
Yes,
were me.
yeah, right, yeah.
If you guys had let him in, and I mean, I was gonna be furious.
Oh, yeah.
Well, no,
he's a founding member.
No, he'll be in. Don't worry.
So we started off with, again, and Alex and I, we count ourselves, we were kind of the neophytes in the group. And we did a monthly gathering in Indianapolis where the members would all bring a bottle of bourbon in a brown bag covered, and we would do a blind tasting. And it was sort of a way for us all to expand our horizons a little bit, try, a bunch of different stuff in a short
All
period
the
of time.
bottles were under $50.
Yeah, it started as, bottles had to be under $50. And then
That's changed.
once we got through a certain amount, you only have so many options, right? So then you'd start doing themed ones. So whether it was, a Canadian whiskey, or we would do from a specific distillery, it had to be a Buffalo Trace product or something like that. And we kind of start mixing it up a little bit more. So it's been a fun, it's been a fun experience the last sort of 4 years getting together. And one of the rules of it was we would have a different person host every month, and the host got to keep all the bottles at the end of the night. And so we all sort of got to expand our collections a little bit early on, which was nice. We've now kind of grown out of that, and we do enough collecting on our own that we don't really need those.
Right.
ones
So we
to-
basically just bring bottles that we want to share with everyone and have pizza and watch a game or a fight or whatever. And
Yeah.
enjoy the evening.
It's
So
been
really cool.
a very educational process for
Yeah.
us. Yeah.
You certainly learn. I think it's kind of like traveling the world. Everything gets much smaller because you learn what you like, and then the majority of things you don't like ultimately, right?
Right.
And then you can narrow it down to 3 to 5 products that that you're kind of looking for and you want to drink. And
I have a question. What is it about Buffalo Trace for me? Like, what do I like about that? And everything.
yeah, no, I mean we're the
Yes,
same.
yeah.
No, but in everything they have.
Well,
Like,
what's
that's all my
What's so
favorite.
cool about them is like the mash bill for Buffalo Trace, for Blanton's, for Eagle Rare. A lot of their products is all actually the exact same recipe. It's just aged
different
amount.
barrels
And
and
in
longer or time,
different
times,
different
same
time and
barrels.
different places in the rick out.
Yeah, so
different temp.
Yeah, well,
can be, but we're with you. I mean, if you had to put a gun to our head and say one distillery That's it.
Everything about every
Weller
one of
comes
their
out
products.
Weller comes out of there. Different recipe. Than
I would name my
Buffalo Trace
dog
Food.
after Weller.
He makes that joke because I did in fact name my dog Weller, but yes.
And well, Tim named his dog after Pappy too, right?
Yeah, sure did.
No,
Absolutely.
I absolutely didn't.
He
You
sure
guys-
did.
Dude, I love Pappy so much.
That-
His
That's a
name
beautiful-
is Teddy.
That's his middle name. He goes by his middle
Tedward
name.
Scissorhands.
On his birth certificate, it
Tedrin
does say
James.
Pappy.
Or Tedwardo Savarin, the founder of Facebook.
We have a comment from Jamie Carr. If Crown is a sponsor, you need a helmet bag like the bottle bag. Can they make one of these big enough? Or a fire suit in Crown Royal purple?
Good idea. I'm gonna call Bell Helmets. It's a new partnership for me this year, and see what they can do.
It's about time. I'm 26 years in.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
So there's it's actually a mechanic that works at Andretti Autosport who I've known for 15 years probably. Big Crown Royal drinker, and he collected enough of the purple bags to get a jacket, like a blazer made out of the bags.
Who is this?
Awesome.
So it was Casey, the dairy guy Casey.
Oh, I know Casey.
Yeah. So Casey has, like I said, big fan. It's like
Big fan of food.
big, yeah. And it's kind of thing I would expect you to do almost. I feel like we should borrow that jacket for the next time we're on this podcast because it'd be purple. Yeah.
Well, I actually met a guy several years ago in Cornwall, Ontario at the Wonderful World of Whiskey show who had the entire suit made out of Crown Royal.
There you go. Yeah, those pants would feel great. It's a beautiful material they use there.
But and Doctor Who is saying, imagine if the Indianapolis Bourbon Society and the Irritable Bowel Syndrome folks had conferences at the same hotel in Indy at the same time.
I can tell you whose would be more fun.
Can you?
I don't know. That was the IBS guy's party.
Jason Hatfield has a question for you, Hinch. What's your favorite bourbon behind the bar at Root and Bone? It's his favorite restaurant in town, by the way.
Oh, wonderful! Thank you so much for that. And I've tried to lean on the guys at Root and Bone to make sure we have a good whiskey collection behind the bar there. Again, for me, it's still anything that comes out of BT is what I'm going to default to when I'm there. So I sometimes. I actually have them keep a bottle or two behind the bar underneath, stashed away for me and certain people. When
Oh,
we
really?
come.
You've never
So
told me about
Jason,
that?
you're welcome to that one. Just say James said it's okay.
Interesting, James.
They won't even charge you. Say it's on James's.
Yeah, I mean the bottle is paid for already. So
You're welcome, bud.
yeah, it's cool.
Tell us about Root and Bone. That's the restaurant that you're involved with in Indianapolis, right?
Correct. Yeah, it's a fun little project. We opened in January 2020. Not the best time to start a restaurant. We're killing it for about 2 months, and then obviously COVID hit and shut everything down. But incredible credit to all the staff there and the community that kind of in Indianapolis around us. We switched to carry out like everybody else, and the restaurant's doing very well. It's kind of gourmet Southern comfort food. Chef Jeff and Janine Booth were both on MasterChef. They have restaurants in Manhattan, down in Miami, and South Beach. And this was a concept and a menu that they created, and it's been a lot of fun to be a part of. And it's been a blast, and people seem to enjoy it. So, yeah, it's kind of a fun little thing.
And
Mark-
James just made $300 for talking about it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Mark, if you want to let James know where to send the check for that.
I'm still waiting for the supplements from last year.
Charge it to them. No, they know why. They would never allow me to have an open tab there.
We know his money's no good.
I have to pay
Because it
before the
doesn't
food
exist.
shows up.
Yeah.
And Jason says he's going to ask for that under the bar bottle. And Dick Trickle wants to know, have we been keeping track of Tim's intake? Yes, we have. He hasn't had any more than anybody else has, right?
Oh, so Mark literally just admitted that he reduced our sample sizes because of you.
Yes.
I mean, that's not what I heard.
No, those were the only bottles I had because we cleaned out a bunch of glass and sent it to recycling.
Okay, because
Oh.
honestly, so here's the thing. So we had our first event in Nashville, IndyCar event in Nashville. Amazing experience.
Yeah, great
Great
weekend.
A lot of fun for everyone there. And Off Track had a live podcast on what's the street called?
Broadway.
Broadway, but like it's called Honky Tonk, in the Honky Tonk. And
Margarita.
those are all bars. And so James and I were there, and obviously we were racing and competing. So we were drinking our Diet Cokes and water, and people were sending Tim
A lot of shots.
And Tim, has no self-control, as we've kind of already established. And by the end of it, he's supposed to be our host / producer / kind of manager of this show, and he didn't contribute anything. If anything,
well, it was a detriment.
He was a detriment to the show.
Some gurgling sounds, I think.
I mean,
there at the end. Yeah.
So it's just, this isn't the first time that someone's had to cut him off on a live podcast of sorts.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Nah, we wouldn't cut Tim off. It's more fun when he's drunk.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Nashville was a blast.
I don't know.
So where have you guys, what distilleries did you guys hit since we last talked?
None,
we
because
haven't.
James is.
Well, no, just honestly with COVID, we had a couple that we were planning on being involved in to get another barrel for the foundation that we work with. But at the time they were kind of doing, this is a little bit selfish. They were, for any kind of barrel selects, they were sending you samples to have at home, and then you would say which barrel you'd like, whatever. We really loved the experience of going, so we were kind of holding out until we had the opportunity to go back. And we're actually, we got a couple that we're trying to line up for this summer, but nothing confirmed yet. So hopefully we'll be able to get back down there and do that again. Do you have any recommendations?
I think I would love to go to Woodford, just because, not necessarily their product is what it is, right? But just the property, and you've got the horses, and you have everything that relates to that.
The property that I really want to see is the Journeyman Distillery in Michigan.
Do they have horses?
I don't know if they have
Well,
horses.
then it's not as good.
But I enjoy their product. I really enjoy. Enjoy
But like, are there?
It's beautiful. It's beautiful, Alex. Maybe there's horses.
Is there an equestrian experience?
There's unicorns. So
no, there's not.
You don't know that. You haven't been.
Fun thing about the Journeyman Distillery is it's the building it's in used to be both at one time or another a corset factory and a buggy whip factory.
There you go.
I've never been.
So they were holding a party every year called the Whips and Corsets Party, just because they could.
All right, so Mark, we just point out Marco and I have never been to a distillery. So if we had to go to one for our first one, which one should we hit up?
The only one James and I are not at that period of time.
I know you guys don't like Marco, but we don't have to talk about it on this.
Well, I think if Marco likes Buffalo Trace that much, then you should go there first.
That's logical. That's a great.
You should pick the distillery that's the whiskeys you like the most. You should go visit that one because it's going to have more of an emotional attachment.
Mark, what's one of your favorite on the trail?
Oh boy, I am really impressed with Jephthah Creed just outside of Louisville on I-64 in Shelbyville.
Okay.
There's a bunch of new ones that have opened up new visitors experiences. Four Roses just opened a brand new visitors center that I have not seen yet. Same with Heaven Hill in Bardstown.
Yeah.
There's 3 or 4 that have opened up. Then Jim Beam just opened its new American Still House just off of I-65. They upgraded. They were down for 10 months last year while they upgraded the whole thing. So I've not been there yet. So it's something I really can't say. The one I want to go back to that I'm thinking I'm going to be going to next month, I think, is Castle and Key, which is just down the road from Woodford. It's the old Taylor distillery.
Oh, no way. Okay, cool.
That they've restored. That basically they took a few C-130 tanker flights full of Roundup in there and killed all the vegetation and then rebuilt the distillery.
Wow. That's one way to do it.
Well, because literally it had been closed since the 1970s and it was all overgrown. It was literally, I was there 10 years ago and it was a jungle around the place.
So why did you go 10 years ago? Just to see the site?
Just to see the site because it was an old abandoned distillery.
Oh, cool.
And it was just to see the beauty of the thing because there's beauty in decay in a lot of ways. If you look at it, as a photographer, that's what I wanted to go see. But they've. I'm sorry.
All right, that's a little harsh. That's
Oh, wow.
Well, because when they closed it, they basically left everything the way it was.
Right.
When they shut it down, they didn't take anything out. So you have the old mill wheels and the old rusted equipment and things like that. And the windows are not even boarded up, things like that. So it was just kind of interesting to see.
Yeah, that'd be a cool experience. That's sort of like when we go to Mid Ohio. They
The
not
old boys prison.
not too far from the racetrack is where
Mansfield.
the prison where they shot Shawshank Redemption. And it functions as a kind of tourist attraction. It's not abandoned in the same way, but you walk through it and it looks like it's been falling pretty good into disrepair.
We're getting some recommendations also for visits. So Wilderness Trail would be a really good one to go to, according to Aiden, and they make some very good whiskey too. The guys that own Wilderness Trail are actually fermentation scientists who consult for other distilleries, and they decided to open their own just to test some of their own ideas out.
Oh, cool.
So they make some cool stuff. And Aiden also suggests that definitely you should go to Buffalo Trace, Marco.
I love that. No, that's on my list for sure.
And they have a haunted trail, a haunted tour they do in the evenings.
Oh,
You
that'd
didn't
be
know
cool. I didn't know that.
Have you been there?
Buffalo Trace? I've been to Buffalo Trace. I've not done the haunted tour.
Fun.
That'd be really
Probably fall. No, or all year long. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know
Be
why I've
fun.
not done. I have a ton of family in Kentucky. I don't know why I've never gone and done the.
I don't want to bring you to a place that serves alcohol.
You get barred from most of those places.
No, my
So-
family likes me. I'm like you assholes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So any favorites among the 4 whiskeys we tasted, guys?
Number 4 for me.
Yeah, the weeded.
2
I
for
think
me.
I like number 1
What
the
was
most.
2? Shoot.
Redwood Empire.
Yeah, I like 2.
Road Empire.
1 and 2.
I'm a sucker for weeded. So
I'm 4, but I loved 1. I thought 1 was fantastic.
Yeah, I think 1 was my favorite.
Great. Well, we're going to let you get back to relaxing and enjoying your vacation time because we get back to what, 2 or 3 weeks from today, or 2 weeks from today do we start up with IndyCar?
it's
3.
Yeah,
Three?
3.
3.
3 weeks from today is St. Pete.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Very excited to get the season started. Alex more than anyone probably.
Yeah.
No, 100%.
Full time.
And Hinch, you're going to be in the broadcast booth all season long for NBC, and we can't wait to see this. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to it. Obviously it's an incredible group of people that work that program for IndyCar, and Lee and Townsend and myself up in the booth. It's going to be a lot of fun. We got a little bit of a preview of it in Daytona, obviously with the IMSA guys as well, and very excited for the season.
Yeah, with St. Pete coming up, you got another 17 hours to do.
Oh my God. It is the longest race that's not Indy for some reason. I don't know why that race always feels like it takes forever from inside the car, but
Nashville beat it.
well, yeah, we had a couple stoppages there because we were all driving
Well,
like
there
idiots.
was like 1 or 2 green flag laps.
I think so. I remember 1 or 2. Yeah.
Well, this is out of the ordinary for us. We had somebody asking, who are these guys? And well, these are whiskey lovers just like the rest of us, just like all of us, because we normally interview distillers and stuff. And I'm going, no, this is one chance where we get to have fun and just talk about a little about racing and a lot about whiskey. So, guys, thank you for doing this and taking time out of your vacation to join us tonight. Stay safe. Don't fall off the skis. Be careful out there, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks
Thank
for
you so
having
much.
us. We
Appreciate
appreciate you.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys. That's our pals James Hinchcliffe, Alexander Rossi, Tim Durham, and Marco Andretti. You can hear the podcast Off Track with Hinch and Rossi wherever you get your podcasts. And we will be with you next Friday night, February 11th. Bill Samuels Jr. from Maker's Mark, the chairman emeritus, will be my guest that night. So until we meet again, take care of yourselves, be good to each other, and we'll see you soon. Sláinte.